Now, the matter of Harry is not just political chatter. My understanding is that bodies are taking a closer look. The Jamaica Gleaner, for example, is saying that the Integrity Commission, the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency, MOCA, have been brought into the issue for further examination. The university board referred parts of the audit to the JCF fraud squad. Harry, this is serious.
Of course it is, neighbor. This is happening at the highest level.
Fraud squad. MOCA has been brought in here. The Integrity Commission. This is very deep. The party cannot afford to remain silent on this any longer, Harry.
Well,
this is unacceptable.
They will for as long as they can. I can tell you that. They will for as long as they can. But this is where, civil society also has to call for this. The institutions that are overseeing it should also add pressure. The very government should ensure that this is treated with extreme prejudice to the magnitude as to what has been done, right? You have to carry it out. There's no choice. And this speaks to, instead the longer the opposition stays silent, it speaks to the moral compass that they have. And it also highlights where they're failing to be an alternative government. Because this is indicating to us that if they were in power, this would have probably been hidden and the necessary actions would have not been taken. And this screams for something like, what would we see happen if this party and its members get hold of more resources from the country? That is what it screams, And that is what the average man will look at now and hold that assumption, and you can't fault him. Because the manner at which the party has gone about this, tight-lipped, refused to come to the public. And even, right, because I heard in terms of the whole thing with Mr. Gordon's company, they lawyered up. They lawyered up very early to put down journalists who reported the names publicly to the people of Jamaica. One media news house had to retract their statements, while the other who broke the news stood their ground, which was proven to be true. So with all of those actions, neighbor, it showed that they would have taken actions that are not accepted, and they would have found ways to try and probably cover up another scandal, because this is going deeper as time goes by. And rightly so, the necessary authorities has to be called into play, so we can know the truth that is owed to the people of Jamaica. And as such, we can then take the necessary actions to each and every institution involved and also individuals involved, and nothing less.
Thank you so much. Protecting Jamaica, good evening to you.
Good evening, neighbor. Long but there, like you watch them cartoon and a cartoon foot a spin before they move off. Me just there with me foot a spin for joining the conversation. Good evening, people. Good evening.
Okay, well, let me hear what you have to say.
No, neighbor, thank you. And I hope you can give me a few seconds to make this out. No.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Golden is a liar. And I don't think, yes. But everybody know it has been proven, mainstream media, him lie Tuesday and forget Wednesday by Thursday and lie again. So I don't think anybody really expected anything different from Mark Golding when he was asked a question and he responded. He sought to deflect in the first part of his response to the direct questions that were posed to him by the journalist asking about JACDEN. And then he went on to do some media shaming because, yes, they hate Nationwide because Nationwide is the only media group in Jamaica who reports the truth No, Mr. Golding is a liar. Everybody know that. I don't expect anything else from him. Mr. Golding, leading up to the election, was voicing on a song. He was playing DJ one time, and Mr. Golding, in a closed setting, he was singing this song that says, "And when the right time come," and I think publicly he was making a presentation, and he muffled it again. Now, look at this, neighbor. I'm going to paint you a picture. The plan was to sweep it under the carpet. But what they didn't know, one, they didn't know who leaked it. And when they found out one of the persons who leaked it to the press, they thought that that person was the only person. And I'm sharing information here that I know. So what they proceeded to do was to get their lawyers. Somebody have something playing in the background now. And it have a feedback out there. So get their lawyers to threaten the media houses to kill the story so that it don't discuss in the public no more, while money's exchange hands. And that's as much as I will say. But then
hold on there. But the Auditor General tabled the report to the PAC.
Yes, man, that's about the name. Auditor General named it Company 1 and Company A, Company B. There was no name.
Okay, good. Go ahead.
But somebody familiar with the entire, three persons familiar with the entire thing shared the story different times to different people. So the intention now was to use the law firm. Which law firm? Knight, Jr., and Samuels. KD Knight law firm, which his daughter now is his representation for his share. John Jr., former PMP minister, and Comrade Bert Samuels. So Knight, Jr., and Samuels. So let us not allow that to escape us. So the PMP lawyers put a thing out there to try to stop the story. Now, while they were doing that, they didn't know that other than the one person that they approached and some exchanges happened, there were other people who knew exactly what was happening and already shared. And so when they were getting one media house who was following the story, they could not get the media house who broke the story to kill the story, because the media house who broke the story know that it is a legitimate story. So they failed to kill the story. Now, guess what? When this thing, just as the report was tabled in the parliament, it was quite curious to me that within 12 hours, Alfred Dawes had already produced 3 videos. They knew. So Mr. Golding cannot, in any good conscience, say that he did not know. They knew that it was coming. They knew what it was all about. And 3 videos were produced within a 12-hour period to be released. And because they knew what was going to come, they decided to blanket, to carpet bomb the media landscape, the public, with all this nonsense. But
so that was a deflection?
It was a deflection strategy which did not work, because what they were hoping all along was that the companies continued or remained being Company 1, Company 2, or Company A, Company B. They were not looking forward to the names being released. What they did not know also was that this was communicated to Musi Moka or one of them even before anybody make a sound about it. They did not know that. So by the time they were there trying to cover this thing down, Moka was getting ready already to come in and start their thing. Again, all along, Mark Golding knew. Dennis Garden tell Mark Golding, And the whole of them with Alfred Dawes knew. And that is the reason why it was a concerted effort, even before it blew up this big, to try to pin it on Christopher Tufton. Alfred Dawes, knowing that the university hospital is not owned by Jamaica or the Jamaican government. It is run by the regional governments in CARICOM. It is financed and managed by CARICOM because it is the training hospital for the University of the West Indies, which is a regional university. They know
Yes.
this. They know this. But in an effort to deflect, in an effort to lead the charge, leading the story, leading the narrative, they went out there with an effort to attack Christopher Tufton because it has to do with the hospital. And little did they know, or little were they prepared for, that the Jamaican people cannot be hoodwinked anymore. We cannot be hoodwinked. Them days done. So what we have now, neighbor, is a situation where they're trying to kill the story again. And this is all Mark Golding's doing. If you know ever think that Dennis Garden did I go take up $10 million, go pay no custom. So. Unless he was, again, unless he was advised by a commercial lawyer who is the man in charge of the PMP. And so, as you said earlier in your notes, neighbor, that leadership is still lacking. Leadership is still lacking. Mark Golding is not proving himself to be a leader. And Jamaican people, you must up man, see this, and you must be afraid. This man can't even lead a hog pen. The hog them are going to trample over him and yam him. Not even a pig pen him can't lead, neighbor. This man look like, say, a Easter now, neighbor. This man look like, say, if you give him fish, you have to pick out the whole of the bone them before you give him. Because him no look so righted or stable. Him no behave like a somebody who have a conscience, so we cannot even use the words good conscience in the same sentence when we're talking about him. He knew and he lied, just as he has been lying since him touched on the political stage. He has been lying to us, bare face, dry eye, right in front of our face, as you said, neighbor. Dennis Garden, I heard Nationwide having a discussion last night with one of Garden's relatives who now resides in England. Garden used to be a reporter on one station in Jamaica. Garden. And you know where Garden do? Garden sought to middle the field on the issue by mentioning that him not take what young Jamaica say with a grain of salt. Because when it was mentioned on the other side, they didn't come out and say anything. You realize what these people are trying to do, neighbor? They're trying to kill the story again. And you see, if we don't continue this conversation and demand of them to be accountable to us, trust me, it a go dead. Their strategies now to kill the story. Where is the Jamaica Meter Accountability Portal? Jump. Where's Miss Jeanette Calder? The same woman who go talk down in Florida say Andrew Holden Steve $3 trillion. And that's all the Miami Herald publish a story on it. Where is she? Where is Carol Narcis? Where are they? They are nowhere to be found. Why? Because it's PMP. But neighbor.
Okay. No, what I want you to do.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
If you give me another few seconds.
Yes, go ahead.
This is very mysterious. And it is something that we should not allow. We need to ball, go in the streets, go ball for it to change. Dennis Garden did not get a permit to build this building. He sat on the committee, which is Finance and Planning and Projects Committee at the KSAMC. So he did not give himself a permit to build this building. When it became a big public matter, Dennis Garden backdated a permit and gave to himself because him sit on the committee, conflict of interest. We don't hear nothing from nobody. Dennis Garden robbed the government $10 million. No, we know.
Well, not let's not say.
But neighbor, I have a company. And my company can't just burst out of nowhere, neighbor. Somebody have to sign the people
Well,
for the team company. Or his company.
I don't know. Probably there are managerial structures.
So JACDEN, which is owned by Dennis Garden, maybe you will like it better if I say it that way. So JACDEN, which is owned by Dennis Garden, robbed the government $10 million in taxes. Dennis Garden, who now sits on the public account committee, might have been sitting there to make sure, say, when money is owed or this matter come up, if nobody never leak anything and it became a public matter, you would hear it sweep on the carpet or wouldn't hear nothing more about it. Because all of a sudden he go find $10 million pay the government and he sits on the committee who looking at the public accounts. So maybe he would be one who cross out that the line there when the tax matters come up. I mean, these things are conflict of interest. Now, grant you, I mean, I saw the committee run, I don't know how it run. But the point is, you just support $10 million out of the government coffers. You sit on the public accounts committee. We're supposed to look on government expenditure and government income. And we don't think nothing about that. This man always find himself on the committee that deal with financing, accounting, and projects. Him always find himself on those committee. And this is the situation in the country. The PMP, them always manage to find themselves at the places where they can get rid of kickbacks. They can rip off the government and the taxpayers. And this is how they survive out of power.
Okay.
Can you imagine?
What would be the ethical procedures to follow in this matter based on how you are concerned? Let's say not a legal matter, but ethical and moral. What would it necessitate for the party to do?
Ethical and moral. It's really difficult for somebody like me even give you a sensible response as it relates to the PMP. Because there's nothing ethical about the PMP and nothing moral about them. But Dennis Garden must come off of the PAC, and Dennis Garden must come out of any other national body that he's a part of, and he has responsibility for. Dennis Garden must remove himself and grow on the back bench. He must just go sit down on the back bench and just keep him seat there so until the people either vote him out or in age out like Peter Phillips and leave politics. People like these, Mark Golding said it out of his own mouth. People like them, you know, if you mix up in a bangarang. If you mix up in a bangarang, you know, if you're in the parliament and make no land or nothing. Now, Mark Golding said, no neighbor. Mark Golding said these words with his own mouth. No,
okay.
No, we have a situation here, neighbor, where while in opposition, the opposition party have already racked up over 6 scandals in opposition. And guess what? To show you that the PMP have a strong hold upon Jamaica. The scandal them with the PMP is found wanting in neighbor. It's to rob taxpayers' money. Now, if you're not in a government, how the hell you end up and rob taxpayers' money and almost get away within some instance? You're in a opposition and still have your hand on taxpayers' money. What is happening to Jamaica? The government need to make some drastic changes now, neighbor.
Yes.
The system needs to be changed. There need to be a massive transformation right throughout government. How come an opposition party have their hand on taxpayers' money and taxpayers' money goes to government coffers? How come?
Well, yeah, these are some serious discussions. And the whole matter of political representatives doing business with government agencies, something that needs to be looked at too.
Oh, well, yes. Because neighbor me not feel comfortable, you know. I don't feel comfortable. He's being paid by taxpayers. And he still have contract with the taxpayers.
Correct.
I double dip in that, brother. I mean, I understand how that go.
Yeah, well, you can't blame him for that.
The system needs to get some updated, neighbor. The system needs some updating.
No. In terms of the politics of it, though, how it is playing in the society, though, protecting. How do you see it playing out there? Do you think that there is going to be any fallout, any damage to the party, or it will be more of a 9-day wonder? We talk a little, we go on and things go back to normal.
What should concern the People's National Party and their supporters, neighbor, is the fact that bit by bit, with these instances of corruption and inaction from the man in charge of the PMP, not a leader, the PMP supporters should be concerned that these are just small cells or molecules adding up together to make a big matter. What do I mean? It means that as you go along in the process, as you move forward, Mark Golding continues to prove that he's not ready to lead anything at all. And what this will do politically, when it's time for people to make that political decision, people will remember that Mark Golding slack up on a number of things. And the longer the time is, the more as we continue, the people will see it's a myriad of things now that Mark Golding have not acted on. He has just talked, as the Prime Minister said. Him talking don't even work the money when he get for pay. So the PMP should be concerned that these little snippets, these little slices of issues compounded together when the time comes will affect them politically. And I believe, neighbor, that these things, because leadership requires more than this. All right, Floyd Green go on party in a COVID, that's not serious. But he had to step aside from his ministerial post. A leadership to that. Bobby Montague with used car. And Bobby Montague had to step down because the car then wasn't delivered according to the agreement, per the agreement on time. And the action or inaction of Mark Golding will show the people of Jamaica that he's not ready to lead this country. Very significant.
There is something happening in our politics that concerns me, because I must tell you that I have witnessed the society, though we have made much strides economically, the social fabric of our society protecting, there is need for concern, morally too, ethically. But I see a member of parliament doing a live without shirt, and girls are texting in commending his physique, and I say to myself, is this the type of society that we really want to build for our young people, sir? Where those that lead us, I'm not speaking about whether it's legal or not, but do you have a problem with that?
Neighbor, yes, and I saw it.
You saw it?
I began to screen record because I was scrolling through TikTok one Sunday. I think it was
you ever believe that you would have lived to see?
Never.
Can you imagine if Andrew Holness, Eddie Siaga, Bruce Golding, let's say Floyd Green or one of these came on TikTok without shirts on?
No, neighbor,
with tattoos.
When I was really frightened and started to wonder what is going to happen to Jamaica in the next decade or so with these people around.
Yes.
I saw him and I said, this not look proper. This not look good, and it should not be encouraged. So I started to screen record it because I wanted to use it to make a video.
Yes.
But then he said, send the rose them, man. Send the rose. Send the money gun. I like him would have said, neighbor, send the money gun, man. Me see you, send the money gun come. And I say, this is a member of parliament. And me just shut off the record, me just lock you off and just put on the phone. Because I say, this is too disgusting to even be here recording it.
But sir, this is what our parliamentarians have come to?
No.
Legislators, sir?
No. This is one person, neighbor, and I am trying to not broad brush the parliament with this kind of situation.
over on that side, sir, because let us be clear, it was a member of the People's National Party.
Yes,
who shall remain nameless.
National Party. But sir,
I've seen other things there too. I mean, I saw a lady on a bike back with her bumper all up in the ear.
Yes.
And I was saying to myself, but are these really our members of parliament? What type of example are these people setting?
Neighbor, what do we expect, neighbor? Tell me, what do you expect?
Well, this is where the failure of leadership.
If you thought, and if any Jamaican thought, that a man who the first time he did something wrong went to prison, him never learned no lesson. Him do it again and go to prison again. And then when he's confronted about it, there's no remorse. When it is being discussed, he disrespects. What kind of approach and lifestyle would you expect from somebody like that who has shown no sign of evolution? He no show no sign of changing, no transformation. What you expect? And guess what, neighbor? We need to watch closely, neighbor, even though it is disgusting to watch, but we need to watch closely. You see, people who behave like this, neighbor, their fall are usually heavy. It's a hard fall. And when that time comes, anybody who go and let them surprise and then shock, that's for them. I am never going to be shocked when the fall come, because he that exalted himself shall be abased. We're seeing it happen to the man in charge of the PMP now. Oh, me and this your boss, and that the boss, and who's the integrity? Yet still, a 2-year no fee, I said, not declare, or is not certified.
Yeah. Before I go back to Harry, protecting, and I think I'd like you to comment on this, because there seemed to be a different yardstick that is used to measure both of these parties, because I could not countenance this was happening over on the Labour Party side.
Welcome to Jamaica.
There would have been 10 press conferences already from a lot of people,
neighbor,
including the opposition themselves.
Neighbor,
yes,
because you're my friend from England and it's the first time you're visiting Jamaica, I'm going to give you the best hospitality. Welcome to Jamaica. You know, because you see,
is this how you do things here?
Yes, this is how we do things here. So if you're surprised, you know, welcome. Neighbor,
yes, sir.
What do you expect? What do you expect? What do you expect? The PMP do everything bad in Jamaica, and nobody says anything. No, look at it, neighbor. Mark Golding asset have not been declared or certified in 2 years. Remember, we don't know enough because we don't hear nothing. We just know say a 2 year from 2024. Where is the jump? Where is the NIA? Where is the JFJ who get mixed up in that something I took? Because they can't rule out, because they come fast in the matter with the IC and Joe Wellness. Where are all these groups? Where is the church? Where are they? Mark Golding has said not declare 2 years now. Which part them there? Where are they? And guess what? It was Mark Golding who said that the Prime Minister do something wrong. And then jump on it. As if Mark Golding is a paragon of virtue and the home of truth. So because Mark Golding says so, I say it go. But which part you know there now? What caused him asset not to declare? Where is the Jankra lady? I'm not a fact, neighbor. I know that me bring that up, it's not a part of the discussion, but I don't know if you saw the research that was done 2 weeks ago that say there's no shortage of Jankra in Jamaica, contrary to Zara Burton. Anyway.
Oh, well.
So, where are they? Zara Burton and Peter Phillips dig up Andrew House, and when Andrew had to release his personal finances out in the public, that shows that he took a loan from JMMB. Bad man. Where is Mark? Where are these people now and Mark Golding? Where are they? And so I am welcoming you to Jamaica, neighbor. Because when it comes down to the JLP, if the JLP sneeze, it's sin. And if Mark Golding walk around and catch out in body in a public, he's holy. But as Papa Nana say, be careful on no shake that hand there. Is either Nana gonna smell stink or we're not gonna lose a finger. Where are these people? It is two different rules, two different kind of system, and one for the PMP, one for the JLP. The JLP is always held at a higher standard, nothing wrong with that. But they used for 3 years the fact that the Prime Minister's declaration was not certified. Was there any suggestion or accusation that the Prime Minister take out public funds? Was there any at all? No. But them jump on him. The man have him account them as a businessman and move around him money for doing business, like what everybody else do. But then jump on him. Now Dennis Garden take public money or in company, because you say me not call him name neighbor. JACDEN thief public money or rob the public purse. But the integrity boss can't be found. We don't know if in one closet, under one bed. I mean, he might link up with Andre now. Might be in the closet. I hope him come out the closet soon. But the point is, this is a Jamaica that is an, even as the donkey say, the world no level. But guess what? I am happy that the leader of the Jamaica Labour Party is taking these issues on the way he has been doing it. Go silent, and when there's a need to speak, speak, and speak truth to form, and speak truth to power. But me need to know which part Jeanette Calder, Carol Narcis, and the whole of the bungler are hypocrite them. I need to know where they are. I need to know where Diane Jackson Miller is now. Is she going to ask for Dennis Garden resign from the PAC or from Region 3? Or what changed hands was enough so she get a cut out of it? What is it? And so we need to continue these discussions, neighbor. And we have to go hold up the democracy in Jamaica and neighbor. We, Paya.